Hi, so in this video I want to talk about some of my thoughts. So I'm going to talk about some things. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is with the various things that I talked about in the framework. I yeah, so again, like I said, this was creating a world or a realm a paradigm, I guess. Many words there are. Um, in various ways this can be thought of, all of these things, this framework. So yeah, what I want to say is I want to imagine this, let's just call it world for now. So I want to imagine this world in a completely original way. I want to imagine this in a completely original way, in my vision, based on the way I based on the way I want to imagine this in an original way. All the things that I talked about, from vast scope to all the smallest details. I want these things to be original to my vision. Okay, I want to imagine this in my distinct original vision, and according to my intuition, according to my visuals, according to this this world would have all of its intricacies, all of its th- this world is dynamic and alive. It's full of movement. It's full of people. And so yeah, I want to imagine all of these things in an original way, with original ideas, with um, original names, original ways of imagining these things. Original and creative styles, like for example in architecture, in attire, and in design, and so on. And yeah, and some of these things can be imagined in um, yeah, things can be imagined in new ways, new creative ways. Some can be in timeless ways. So again, this is how I'm imagining this world, eh, in my original vision. Okay, so yeah, so apart from this, I have uh, okay, I have some more thoughts that I want to talk about. Okay, so like I said, there are more things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about va- um, various maneuvers, and again, this word in various contexts, I guess. So, like for example, I talked about VTOLs and aeroplanes and aircraft. So there are maneuvers related to, you know, on on those airplanes. And again, there are various ways, various contexts of maneuvering. Okay, so I want to talk about maneuvering and maneuvers, and I want to talk about strategy and various strategies and various interesting ways of um, yeah of working things. Okay, so yeah, apart from that, I want to talk about various technologies. Again, this can be thought of. I want to think of these things again, according to my intuition, my visuals, my vision, and again, make these technologies in very beautiful, aesthetic, intuitive, and detailed, and brilliant and interesting ways that create lots of possibilities and creative possibilities. Okay, so yeah, apart from this, I want to talk about various concepts in metaphysics, in psychology, in yeah, psychology and understanding the mind. Again, the mind is a vast expanse. It's a universe in the mind. So yeah, a mind is its own universe. Yeah. So yeah, apart from that, I want to talk about yeah with yeah, I want to talk about physical fitness. I want to talk about mental fitness. I want to talk about yeah, people. I want to talk about various things about people. Again, I find this very interesting in to yeah, to be with amazing, beautiful, intelligent, and wonderful people, and gorgeous people. And I want to talk about, again, this kind of I want to talk about, yeah, people. I want to talk about various things. I want to talk about socializing and friendships and romances. I want to talk about various ways in which uh, people interact with people. I want to talk about, yeah, a lot of things about people. And yeah, apart from this, yeah, with technologies, again, there are various things. There are various ways of imagining so many different types of technologies. So yeah, and so again, for example, one of the ways, just as an example, yeah, one of the ways of imagining this would be to, and using this term loosely, vehicles. Okay, so imagine, okay, in various contexts, on various terrains, on land, in air, in space, on water, underwater, and again, there are various ways of imagining. So I want to imagine these vehicles in various ways, in various designs, and various technologies. And again, so that is what something that I also want to talk about. And yeah, and exploration with command of these vehicles and large-scale vehicles with interior spaces and lots of people. Large-scale large-scale vehicles uh, on land, air, space, water, and these large-scale vehicles would have multiple levels, multiple vertical levels, various decks, various observation decks, various panoramas, and panoramic architecture. And yeah, so again, these can, for example, these can, just to give as a reference, these could be imagined as spaceships or ocean liners, or yeah, ships, and various again, on land, these vehicles, these can be large vehicles on land. I guess you could call them, I don't know, land liner, I guess, or terra liner, TERRA. Yeah. So yeah, that is again something that I quickly wanted to say about these large vehicles. Large scale vehicles on land, air, space, water, and these large scale vehicles, they would have um, various layers, vertical layers, decks, and observation decks, and various panoramas and panoramic architecture. And yeah, so they would have various interiors and interior spaces and livable spaces and various interesting um, plazas, I guess. And yeah, so again, these large scale vehicles, as a way of quickly giving an example or a reference, these vehicles would, again, you can kind of think of, for example, spaceships or carriers or ocean liners, or on land, I guess you could call it land liners or terra liners, Terra. So yeah, those would be, again, just giving a quick example, so it would kind of give an idea. And yeah, so that is something that I wanted to say about imagining large scale vehicles and the way their architecture would be. So I'll talk about more things. I'll talk about penthouses on skyscrapers, and I'll talk about palaces. And with these penthouses, I'll talk about their architecture in stylish, extravagant, um, beautiful ways of their design and their architecture and interiors. And yeah, I'll talk about them in, in beautiful detail and precision and accuracy. And yeah, talk about them, the design in very beautiful, colored, stylish, and extravagant ways. Okay, so exquisite, exquisite, lucid, exquisite, shimmering and dazzling with lights and colors and transparencies and reflections and refractions and brilliance and vividness and colors and the vividness and intensity of all these colors and all these light interactions, and vast scale and scope and heights and way high up heights and spaces and layers and all the various spaces and their interactions. Immense surreal heights, in the sense that uh, a whole new, yeah, I'll talk about these skyscraper penthouses and palaces. Apart from this, I'll talk about hanging gardens and the design and architecture in the way that I would imagine hanging gardens. I will talk about beaches and interesting things that can be done with the landscape and architecture of beaches. I'll talk about piers and waterfronts. I'll talk about yeah, beaches and piers and palms and so on. So there's a lot of things that uh, and more things. So there's a lot of things to talk about with all of these things. So yeah, again, that's something I wanted to add. Okay, I want to add to the list of locations. So the ones that I want to add are Stellar Avenue and Spatial Hanging Gardens. Okay, so these were in the locations, these two I wanted to add. Okay, Stellar Avenue and Spatial Hanging Gardens. So those are the additions I wanted to make. So apart from that, I want to talk about certain things, and yeah, so apart from this, uh, um, getting to the topic of the framework, again, I will add more things. I will add more, yeah, more details, more interesting concepts, visuals, and so on, and details. Yeah. So yeah, again, just something that I quickly wanted to talk about in this video. And yeah, that's it for this video. And Hmm. Yeah. Again, something I think, yeah, something that I want to say is that I want to imagine all of these things original to my vision and intuition and visuals and my original vision. Okay, so yeah, that is something that I wanted to add. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next videos. Okay.